It's absolutely beautiful.
That's looking good.
Hello and welcome to our channel, Portugal on a Shoestring.
Hello, welcome to Portugal on a Shoestring. It's great to have you all back. This week we've got the glass block wall going up and the shower being installed. But I also wanted, before we start that, just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, Diane over the weekend, she took a bit of a tumble down some steps and she sprained her ankle, she hit her face on some concrete, broke her glasses, and she's got a black eye. She's okay, she's all right, obviously sore and a bit down, but yeah, she'll be okay. Nothing that a couple of weeks of rest won't sort out. So, get well soon, Diane. This week we went to go and visit Dave and Jen. They have a YouTube channel similar to ours, and they only live about 10 or 15 minutes away. Dave and Jen came and visited us a couple of weeks ago, and he brought us the gift of the camellia plant, which you've probably seen Diane planting in the garden. They've got floors up in their house and everything, and yeah, has walked the plank. It's but yeah, go and take a look at their YouTube channel because it's quite entertaining and definitely worth a watch. Dave and Jen at I Want a Lemon. Right, the other thing was, after our video about the cost of living in Portugal, we had an awful lot of people telling us that we'd save so much money if we went and shopped at the local markets. And we have visited most of them in this area at some point, and we go to a couple of them regularly. Your chances of buying fresh fruit and veg or meat or bread or anything like that at a cost that's less than supermarkets is pretty slim. All the Portuguese, they walk around the market, have a good gab and a good look around, and then they walk 100 yards across the road and pile the cars up with shopping from the supermarkets. It's a shame because I'd love to be able to use markets and buy all my groceries from there. Don't mind supporting local businesses, but I can't justify spending more money on exactly the same product. You know, we go to Anjou market very regularly, and exactly that happens there. I mean, obviously in the market you do get things that they don't sell in supermarkets. So there is that. Livestock, seeds, plants, things like that. Anyway, that's enough me wittering on. I hope you enjoy this week's video. We'll put a bit of silicone on these to finish them off, but everything's just being dry fit at the moment to make sure it all fits. So actual mixer, it's a thermostatic shower mixer. So we've got 2 strainers. There's actually strainers in here already, but this is a second defence with the rubber seals. Now they should just screw onto there. Get them on finger tight, and then when you're happy with that, we'll actually nip them up. Won't need to bother at the moment because, like I say, this is going to get taken off again. So that's the mixer unit. And I say this is the thermostatic one. So you've got your temperature you can set here, your flow here. This is the riser rail. So first part of that is a short hose which goes onto the bottom here. Again, we've got little rubber washers. They fit on, and you screw on there like so. And then this goes behind the unit, and that attaches to a diverter valve, which forms the base of the riser rail. Again, just loosely put in for the moment. Then from that hose, we have the stationary shower. So it's not quite a waterfall shower. It's actually angled out, but it's similar. So this bit just screws onto the upright, and the shower head goes on there. Now we'll have a rubber hose in. So we need to figure out roughly where that needs to go. These slide up and down like that at the moment, but there's actually a little key, and use that to tighten it up. Quite neat, I like that. They just nipped up loosely just to keep them straight so I can mark them out. So on these brackets, you've got this little bit inside that just unwinds. There we go. Right. You got two of them, so those will fit onto the wall like that, and then we'll line them up with those brackets there. Let's put the head back on, and we'll see if we can get the height that we want. It goes here, like so. So I want to be able to get it right underneath it, no problems. I think that's about right. I've got a new little tool. I bought it locally, €6-7, something like that. It comprises of a suction cup drill guide with different sized holes in, and a pack of diamond coated bits. Now this is a 6mm one. Through the hole, you sight where you want your drill to be, and then you suction cup it onto the tiles. Then we'll drill through. Now we'll only drill through the tiles on this. Once we're through the tiles, we'll use the SDS drill to go through the concrete and brick. But this gets through the tiles. I'd normally use a masonry drill, but I thought for the price, give these a go. Anyway. Ooh, that was very quick. That was good. And as you see, it gives a nice clean hole. That's great. Right, let's see if we can get the other one done. Excellent. Right, we'll just run through with the SDS. Let's just a 6mm masonry drill. These plugs came with the brackets, so we'll pop them in there. And yours came with stainless steel screws. Let's get the brackets on. Excellent, that's very solid. These brackets are actually threaded on the outside, so these collars spin and they grip onto it. Let's get one loosely off, and the other. See if it lines up, which it should. Be careful not to cross thread them. Very plastic. Right, then we take the little diverter valve that we fitted before, and and connect that to here. Actually a rubber gasket inside there, so that's good. Then the hose for the hand shower attaches to that diverter valve. There's two little chrome caps just to sit. We've got a little bit of fettling to do around the taps, but it's just clean it up and make it look pretty. That's the basic installation done. So have a look at the whole thing now. We've got the thermostatic mixer, the riser rail with the rainfall shower and the individual hand shower. We won't be able to tell whether this all works until we get some water into the bathroom, but with that out the way, it means that we can start on the glass block wall. As you see, tiles are done, the shower's in place. I wanted to get the shower in place before I started on the glass block wall, just so I had a bit more room to work and that type of thing. So we've actually checked this edge with the laser level, and it's perfectly straight. So that's the line I'm going to use. We do need to put some reinforcement in this. And what we use is these, which are galvanised steel 4mm rods. These are specifically for glass block walls. We'll set them in a couple of holes in the ground, and they'll run up between the bricks and give them some more strength. As well as that, to tie them into the wall and also to give them some strength, sort of like that, we use, these are again galvanised, they're actually stud bar, M6 stud bar. You could use the same things, but these were available and the convenient size, definitely don't have to cut them down. So what we'll do, we'll drill them into the wall, so that'll tie them to the wall, and they'll go between every second layer of blocks. So we'll lay two, we'll put some of these in, we'll lay another 2 layers, and then we'll put another couple of these in, and we'll work our way up. Now, I have never ever laid glass blocks, so this is as much a learning experience for me as it might be for you. If you've got some experience of it, please be gentle with me, because I'm making this up as I've gone along. I've done a little bit of research, I've watched a few YouTube videos, and there's not a great deal about it. So yeah, we're just going to work our way through and see how we get along. I'm hoping to get up to about 4 or 5 layers today. I'd like to let it set off then, to solidify before I carry on any higher. Anyway, let's have a go. Now what we're going to do is just going to lay a bed of mortar. We've got these holes drilled for the support rods, so we'll let's make a start. Now these are little brackets that space them apart. They come like that. I've actually cut some down so that they fit against the wall. Right, this is the height we're doing it to. This is our last level of blocks. So we need to trim these down. I made a mistake when I said that it was 1.8 metres high. It's not, it's 1.6. So, right, what I want to do is just cut these a little bit lower than the top of these would be. They're just to tie the mortar into the hole, into the wall. Won't make a big difference, but every little bit helps. These will provide all the strength really. Today we just come to visit Dave and Jen at I Want a Lemon. Just have a look around their house and see what they've been up to. If you've not seen their channel before, they're doing something very similar to us. Just different problems, different stages, but now it's really entertaining. So have a look at it. Not Portugal on a shoestring.
I want a lemon.
I want a lemon. Say hello.
Hello everyone. Yeah, we're in awe of what Brian and Diane have achieved at their place in just a year. It's a big rambling building that they've got with lots of rooms and a hell of a lot of work. But they're making a fantastic job. We've been to visit them and we're truly impressed with what they've done.
Oh, thank you very much.
I know. Hi. I know. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. These are what?
All of Portugal is beautiful, and
It is.
I feel blessed really that we could even afford to do this.
I know. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? It's just.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many trees in my life.
No. People next door, like that. It might as well be because they cram them in so close to each other.
Yeah.
Look at this. You know, who would have thought?
Oh, good. He's at it again. Run with the camera.
Jack Sparrow walking the plank.
Arr, we made cheese. No, I love it. Ours is like massive stone.
Hello. We've completed the glass block wall. That's as high as we're going to go. And what we've done, I mean, these are all covered in dust, so they don't look too great. But I say this was the first time I've actually used glass blocks, and yeah, a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. You could only do 1 or 2 layers at a time. Still starts to get a bit too wobbly after that. I found the best way for me was to just do 1 layer, let it set, do another layer, and I just did it over a series of days. It was the easiest way for me to do it, and I'm not in a big rush, so that was fine. The only other issue I've realised is that there's 2 ways to finish them. And that's, one is to use a tile grout, and the other is to use the actual mortar that you set them in. Originally I was going to use the mortar because it all came and it'll all be 1 block, you know. But I found that it's a bit coarse, it's a bit too sandy Unfortunately, that meant that I left too much mortar in the joints, so I had to scrape them all out. Just use a big screwdriver and just scrape them out until it got down to a layer that was below the glass. And now I'm going to put some white tile adhesive on. If I'd thought about it when I was doing the blocks, building them up, I could have just scooped the wet mortar out with my finger. Would have been brilliant. But live and learn. You do jobs, you get them wrong, you learn something from it, you move on. Next time, you know. We just got some grout mixed up. It's ordinary white tile grout. I've mixed it up quite thick because these are wide joints. I don't want lots of water in them because they may shrink and crack. If you do use less water, they're less likely to crack. Fingers crossed. Let's crack on. Just using a squeegee for silicone, and it's a 15mm radius. I'm just going to scoop out any excess. What I'll do, I'll let this sort of harden off for about an hour, and then I'll come back with a sponge and sponge it again, and that should smooth off the grout lines. That's looking good so far, so I'm happy with that. Okay, next morning, everything's gone off. It's quite good. What we need to do now is get this haze off, and exactly the same as with the tiles. Just polish it off with an old cloth, a towel. Again, I'm using a t-shirt that I was wearing yesterday, so that can go in the wash afterwards. Yeah, let's get this done. Some of it's a bit thicker than other places, but that's the texture of the tile. Well, that's that all polished off. It's a bit harder than doing tiles, I must admit. Took a lot more polishing in the corners and that type of thing, but yeah, that's looking good. This is all done. We still have to do a little bit around these, but we'll do that once we're doing some grout on the walls. What I do want to decide on now is what we put on the top of this. You can buy strips that are specifically for it, but with this being a curved end, I don't really like the idea of that just being cut edge. What I was thinking was either a piece of hardwood, so a little bit wider than this, going along as a capping piece, or possibly a piece of marble or granite or something polished up and like I say, I need to look into prices and availability really. If you've got any opinions, let us know, because or if you can think of anything else. Basically, I just want something that caps this off, that is waterproof and yeah, will look nice. Anyway, on to other things. Right, I hope you enjoyed all that. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully Dan will be feeling a bit better. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to coax her in front of the camera next week. We'll see how the shiner's doing. Anyway, keep the questions coming in, and it's great to hear from you all. So join us again next week. Bye now.